Welcome students, parents, staff, and friends of Augusta County to Connecting with Augusta County Schools. I'm Eric Bond, and I proudly serve as your Division Superintendent. Please join me throughout the year as we take a closer look at our outstanding division and how we strive to serve every child, every day. Hello everyone, this is Eric Bond, Superintendent of Augusta County Schools, and welcome to another edition of Connecting with Augusta County Schools. We are absolutely delighted and pleased to have with us today as our guest, Mr. Larry Landis. Mr. Landis is principal at Fort Defiance High School. Mr. Landis, welcome to Connecting with Augusta County Schools.
Thank you, Dr. Bond. It's nice to feel connected with everything going on around us.
Sure. So, Mr. Landis, it's a pleasure to have you with us. We are so excited to talk to you today because we did want to take some time to honor you. You have announced that you'll be retiring as principal at Fort Defiance and retiring from Augusta County Schools after a long and wonderful career in public education, spending basically your entire adult life in this profession, the most noble profession that there is. So we just want to honor you and congratulate you and chat with you a little bit about that. First of all, tell our listeners, how many total years in education are we celebrating?
42 years, as you said, amazing, wonderful years working with teachers, coaches, staff, kids especially. It's been wonderful.
So of those 42 years, how many of them have been in administration?
34
Wow.
years as a building principal.
34 years. And correct me if I'm wrong, so you have experience as building principal at all three levels, elementary, middle, and high school.
That is correct.
And you started your career in Hopewell, is that
correct?
Teaching and
Hopewell,
coaching?
Virginia, 8 years teaching, coaching. Principaled in Goochland County 2 years, back to Hopewell for 5 more years, and then came back to the county in 1993.
And that first assignment was at
UK Castle Elementary, and then
principal.
Wilson Memorial High School.
Okay.
And then now at Fort.
And you've been at Fort for how many years?
14 years.
Wow. So it goes without saying the number of lives that you have influenced, the number of students that you have had the opportunity to work with and mold and educate and lead, not to mention the number of teachers that you've had those same opportunities with. And certainly I consider you a mentor. You and I kind of came back to the county at the same time, albeit you as a principal, principal at Wilson High School, and I became assistant principal at Buffalo Gap. So I've always considered you not only a friend, but a mentor. So thank you for that. Let me ask you some really difficult questions. I know that you probably can't necessarily pinpoint one thing, but what are some of your most fondest memories? I mean, again, you've had such a wonderful career and such a positive influence on thousands of lives. Can you pinpoint or just in generally say what's been some of your most fondest memories about your tenure?
Well, I think any of the former students who graduate and take what they got out of Augusta County school system and through their college experience and then get into teaching and beyond, all the kids that have graduated and been able to watch and see how successful they've been, how they've made something out of their lives. Same with teachers that I've worked with who become administrators, different capacities. All of those types of things are very, very rewarding.
So you had mentioned, a lot of the teachers that you worked with over the years, and certainly in 42 years, you have seen dramatic changes in public education over those years. One of the things that we're facing now is a teacher shortage. Being a veteran leader of public education, what advice would you give folks that are thinking about getting into public education? Any guidance to anyone that may be a high school senior and wondering what they want to do with their lives? What kind of advice do you give those folks?
I think you need to self-reflect. We tell our teachers, it's all about doing missionary work. And you're not in it to get rich. You're in it to have a lasting impact on kids' lives, on families' lives. So first and foremost, why do you want to become a teacher? Certainly anybody that's had a positive experience as you have or I have, love it. We have absolutely no regrets. And once you make that commitment to get into teaching and working with kids and having that lasting impact, don't look back. Go full steam ahead, get involved in and out of the classroom. The more you can get to know the kids, be involved with the kids, the more lasting impact you have on the kids.
Sure. I know you and I have had conversations. You're obviously looking forward to your retirement, spending more time with your wife and your family and traveling and volunteering with civic organizations. I think that speaks volumes for who you are, about your continual want to work with our communities and make our community a better place. So I applaud you and support you on those endeavors. So thank you. If you don't mind, I want to change gears a little bit. As our most veteran high school principal, obviously we're dealing with lots of things with the COVID-19 closure. One of the things that is, upon us right now is honoring our seniors and celebrating our seniors at graduation. And our listeners don't know, but Mr. Landis, on our 5 high school principals, he is the chair of that committee and kind of leads that group. So I think it's safe to say that not only can he speak on behalf of Fort Defiance High School, but also speak on behalf of the high schools in general and talk about graduation a little bit. There's been, some press about that, not only in Augusta County, but all through the state of Virginia and all of this nation on, with this mandated closure, how do we honor our graduates? Obviously, with the current limitations that have been put on us through our governor and through our health department recommendations and CDC recommendations, which we fully support. Obviously, safety of our students and our parents and our community is of the utmost importance. So we certainly support that. But it has provided some opportunities for us in how we do honor our seniors. So if you don't mind, if you could just give us quickly an overview of kind of what we're doing in Augusta County. Again, I think it's safe that you could speak on behalf of all of our high schools, but maybe in particular what you guys are doing at Fort Defiance on this, what we consider a nice opportunity to honor our seniors here in Augusta County.
From the onset of the coronavirus outbreak, and when it became readily apparent that our lives as public educators were changed forever, the central office team, and I'm not just tooting Dr. Bond's horn, but it's true, we've all worked together, the secondary administrators, teachers, central office team, everyone, to look at every possible option that might be available. Of course, we all are still experiencing the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen in 2 weeks, in 4 weeks. So we had to look at all the scenarios. All of us agree we would love to have had an in-football stadium or in-gym graduation for all of our families, but it became readily apparent that that was not going to happen based on all of the input we got from the governor's office, Secretary of Education. So the next best thing we felt was to afford every senior and their family the opportunity to walk across the stage, receive their diploma, be recognized with the slideshow with their picture and the picture of them in their cap and gown standing beside their yard sign, the best we could while maintaining the strict standards with the coronavirus. I mean, we all would love to have everybody in our school as part of graduation, but that's just not going to happen. So right now we have the graduate and no more than 10 other people in our graduation space, in our case, the auditorium. This year, for the first time, our graduates will have honorary diplomas that they will present to a teacher that's had the most impact on their life. So not only will they be getting their diploma, which they'll pick up off of a table. I can't even hand them their diploma.
Right.
No handshakes, no hugs. And they'll also get an honorary diploma to give to a teacher who's had the greatest impact on their life. And I mentioned the yard sign. All 5 high schools, and every one of us has talked and brainstormed and with Dr. Bond and Dr. Shiflett and Ms. Karakoff and everyone else on their teams, find the best ways to best meet the needs of our seniors and their families.
Sure. And, I know it's heartbreaking that, especially for you, ending your career this way. But, again, the coronavirus is unusual for everybody in the world. And unusual circumstances sometimes call from opportunities to problem solve. And as Mr. Landis said, I think we in Augusta County did not come to this decision easily. Again, we wanted to do a traditional ceremony later, hopefully in the summer. And I don't know that a lot of the general public knows this. A lot of our research when we were deciding this did come from the Virginia Department of Education in Richmond, did come from the Secretary of Education who sits on the governor's cabinet, did come from state health department officials. We were basically told in uncertain terms that it was going to be highly unlikely that we would be able to have a traditional ceremony in the end of July. If you look at the governor's phase-in plan, when restrictions are really lifted for us as a public school, it would be in that first week of August, probably best case scenario. So again, the decision wasn't made lightly, and I give credit to the high school principals because, again, a lot of our seniors, wouldn't you agree, in August they're going to be going on with their next phase in their life, whether it be in the military and being deployed or basic training or in the world of work, or some of them hopefully will be in their fall semester at college or an institution of higher ed, whatever that might be. And so we felt like we wanted to honor them sooner than later before they do go on to the next phase of their life. And so I think this is a real opportunity for us in this class to do something very unique and very intimate for their families, where we can continue with what we're calling tongue-in-cheek, no senior left behind, one family at a time, where it will be very intimate and very personable with all the pomp and circumstance, and be able to honor them in a wonderful way, and that their families can get a up close and personal experience. Anything you want to add to that?
I just want to say that, again, Dr. Bond's office, Mr. Lotz, have worked out financially the opportunity for every senior to receive a picture packet and the video of graduation at no cost to them. And I'll just go ahead and say that's $45 a senior in Augusta County. And that is just another example of how we have done everything we can together as a team to make this graduation and this spring something that we can all have a positive from and to remember and build on for the rest of our lives. I mean, you have to approach it as being glass half full and coming out on the other end. What type of person will you be? And I think it's changed all of us, and hopefully it will change all of us for the better.
I couldn't agree more. Just to reiterate what Mr. Landis said, a big thank you to our school board. They were the ones that were pretty adamant about purchasing this DVD and a basic picture package for our seniors. They felt like with everything that this senior class has missed out on, this was the least they can do to let them know that we do support them and that they are special. So thank you to the school board. Mr. Landis, any last words of wisdom you want to give us? Again, words can't express our gratitude and thanks to you for your lifetime dedication to public education. You're to be commended and you're to be celebrated, and certainly we all respect you. So, last chance.
Thank you, and you couldn't have written a better script for one's life.
Sure.
It's been a true pleasure.
So, thank you, Mr. Landis. Congratulations to you on your retirement and to your family, and certainly congratulations to the class of 2020. I appreciate everyone listening in to another edition of Connecting with Augusta County Schools. Please stay safe and stay strong. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates on our latest episodes. Our episodes can always be found on Augusta County Schools' Facebook page and website.